Hello YouTube, this is Asatsu5 and today I'm going to be talking about Opinel knives. The reason for this video, to tell you the truth, I know I have one Opinel review, but I don't know if I have a review on this particular Opinel, or Opinels in general. I know I have a review over the outdoor knife, which sucked, but I don't know if I have one on the standard knives, which are awesome. And I'm here to talk about that. It has come to my attention that some people, believe it or not, think they're too good to carry an Opinel knife. And I know a lot of you who are knife savvy are thinking to yourself, what? But yes, some people, they just don't like Opinel for whatever reason. I don't understand it. And I'm here in this video not so much to convince you to buy an Opinel, that is your decision, but I'm going to talk about some of the cool features it has, or the advantages behind the Opinel, and all the options and stuff, and yeah, talk about the cool things about Opinel. What is cool about the Opinel? There's a lot of cool things about the Opinel. First and foremost, they're extremely affordable. This one probably costs around $10, and it's an awesome knife for $10. I challenge you to find another knife of this price point that can cut as well as this. Now, I will say this about the blade. The grind is awesome. There's nothing wrong with the grind, but the edge isn't shave your face sharp when it comes from the factory. By the way, I forced a patina on this blade. This is not how it looks when you get it out of the box. I did that to prevent red rust. But yes, the grind, the blade itself is awesome, but the edge is not close to, it's not quite perfection. And this is very simple to repair. You can do it with stones. You can do it with a belt sandal, although you don't need a belt sandal, but it makes it really fast and easy. And you can get this thing scary sharp. I'm talking laser sharp. And it's $10. You put minimal amount of work into it, and it is a awesome knife that can do anything you want it to. Now, if I was talking to a knife guy who wasn't sure if Opinels were a good knife, I'll tell him this. Opinels, by the way, Opinels are made in France. But Opinels are to France what Mora knives are to Sweden. They're very similar, not in construction or looks, but the concept is very similar. The concept behind getting a very affordable knife out to the public that cuts extremely well. I mean, outcuts other knives of the same price point. And that's what Mora of Sweden and Opinel did. They created what can be arguably one of the best knives for the money out there. I challenge you to find another knife that cuts as well as this for the same price point. I don't think it can be done. Just to throw out some examples here, I got a couple of case knives, and these are both more of their affordable case knives. And these are both, the handle materials on both these is Durolin, which is a synthetic plastic type of material. And I can tell you from experience with both of these knives, the edges on these knives, I don't want to say horrible, but not what I think Case should be putting out. With a name like Case, these knives should have been a lot better. And to tell you the truth, let's see if I have it nearby. I don't know what I did with it. Anyway, like I was saying, these two case knives the edges were, I don't want to say chipped, but you can definitely feel some nicks in the blade from the factory. And the only two case knives I ever got that were not razor sharp, but were, well, maybe razor sharp, but they're not perfect edges, but they were decent, was from the Swayback Jack and the Sod Buster. And I don't know why the sod buster came with a better blade than these two, but it did. And let's look at something. You can see that the case knives have a thicker blade stock than the Opinel. Well, you know what that means? That this thing is going to glide through material like Astrolube. It is by far, the blade geometry is perfect if you're going to be cutting paper. I want to use this for heavy duty cutting. This is more of an EDC gentleman's knife type thing. It's not as pretty as a gentleman's knife should be, but we'll get to that later. But this is a good EDC knife, good for if you want a decent knife to eat your steak with, food prep, light cutting task. This knife is going to excel and outcut this one all the time. Now you can say that this case knife has a more robust blade, and that is a perfectly valid argument. But we're not talking about prying or using it as a screwdriver or anything like that. We're talking about the job of cutting. And when it comes to cutting, I think the Opinel comes out on top. Let's get those out of the way. And this thing's probably not going to stand up since the blade's out. But let's talk a little bit more about Opinel, the blade itself, or the knife itself. It is an integral handle that is, well, it's a solid piece of beech wood that they have milled out, and they put the blade in there with a pivot, and that's basically your knife. It's very, very simple, but very, very elegant. Very few things can go wrong with this if you use it how it's intended to be used. Some cool features about this knife, besides the single piece of beech wood, you could lock the blade open with this collar lock and use it. And well, I personally never do it because it's not needed. You can have it unlocked and the blade's not going to fall out. It's pretty much being held there by friction, but this isn't a friction photo per se, but it is. Actually, this type of knife is known as a penny knife, a knife for the for the paw. Hence the reason why it's so cheap. But it's a very functional knife, and not only can you lock it open, but if you're really paranoid about this knife, which isn't going to come out, but if you want to lock it closed, you can by turning the collar. And now the knife's really not going to come out, but it's not going to come out anyways. It is impossible. Like I said, it's fit in by friction, but yet it opens up with ease. The only downside to this knife is if it gets wet, the wood can swell up and make opening and shutting the knife difficult. All you have to do is dry it out. I used a food dehydrator, and that worked very fine, very well. But like I said, this is the number 8. Let's look at some other Opinel options. This is the Opinel number 10, and as you can see, to the number 8, it dwarfs it. It's a knife that feels good in the hand. It's a hand-filling knife, and as I can't say the blade length on this off the top of my head because I wasn't planning on doing a review. I was just talking about Opinels in general. But it has a decent blade length, longer than my palm. So you can really take advantage of the long edge and cut stuff. You know, you can have a longer slice. Like I said, the handle is comfortable, no hot spots, very smooth. Same locking mechanism. There we go. But yes, it's all the same things with this one, but just bigger. And I wanted to show you that. Now, when it comes to Opinel aesthetics, there's several ways you can go. Now, there's the argument that Opinel knives aren't that fancy. And like I said, the original intent of the Opinel was to make a knife for the walking man. It's a penny knife, but some people want to bling their knives, or they want flashy knives. And Opinel has knives of the same design with horn handle, and they're extremely expensive for what they are. That's kind of down, but they also have this, which is the Opinel, I think it's the number 8 in Babinga wood. You can see that the handle is sterile. It's just showcasing the Babinga wood, and check this out. Whew! That is an awesome knife. It is mirror polished. I love mirror polished blades. So you could possibly use that to signal for help in the desert. I wouldn't want to rely on it for that use, but you could possibly do it. But this is a beautiful knife. If you want an Opinel and you want something a little bit nicer, this is the knife to get. And it's not like buying the ram's horn Opinels or the horn-handled Opinels. This one costs $22. This one, like I said, was $10. This one, I think, was $12. This one's $22, I think. But, you know, they put a little bit more effort into this one with the mirror polish. So let's put that right there. Remember, this is a Opinel number 10. And if you take the time, you can make this Opinel number 10 appear to be a full-blown custom. And this is just an example of what my brother did. This is his Opinel number 10. By the way, this is his Opinel number 10. He accidentally ordered 2 of them. But he saw some pictures of people modifying the Opinels on Instagram, and he was like, I gotta do that. So what he did was he took the... he sanded it down, he got a Dremel, and he made grooves into it, and it fits his hand a little bit better, but basically, you know, he has like some finger grooves, and also it's aesthetic as well, and he also, with this particular groove right here, it allows you to, well, maybe you can grab that one, but with these grooves you can pinch the blade and open it. This one needs to be dried out a little bit. I can tell it's a little bit stiff. He put a sheep's foot blade on it because my brother likes Warncliffs and sheep's foot and that kind of stuff. And I kind of look at this, and to me it looks like a cross between a skeleton or maybe a fishing lure. It's very interesting, this knife. And basically what he did, like I said, he sanded it, he dremeled it out, he put, I think, olive oil on it, and he got a lighter and kind of toasted it a little bit to get its own unique personality. So yes, these are almost all the Opinels in the house. You got Babinga wood number 8, beechwood number 8, beechwood number 10, custom beechwood, and those people who do more elaborate mods than this, and they're beautiful. And like I said, this cost, it was $12. I'm pretty sure it was $12, and you get something that looks like this, and you know, you can easily take the name off the handle or sterilize the blade and probably sell this on eBay for twice what you paid for it, because it's that interesting in my opinion. So that's it. That's the Opinels. Basically, to sum up the video, I usually do these summary bullet points, is that Opinel is to France what Moore is to Sweden. It's a very cheap knife, but it's a very practical knife. It's a knife that cuts well. It does the cutting job. Its cutting potential far outweighs its cost. There's $600 knives that don't cut as well as these knives. I guarantee it. In fact, I know it. To me, you might not get the variety that Case has with different handle scales and stuff, but to me they beat Case almost any day of the week. You can get the Opinels in carbon steel or stainless steel, whichever one you like. And finally, you know, they can be attractive. They don't have to be this plain look to them. They can be as pretty as you want them to be. You can inlay stuff in them, carve them, wood burn, anything you want. And I think that anybody who hasn't tried an Opinel really owes it to themselves to buy an Opinel and test it out for themselves. I think they'll be really happy with it. I'm a Salty 5, and I'm out.